Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyard channel. Today we are in the garden and we're going to do a backyard garden tour. As a reminder, I live on the Oregon coast in a zone 9A. It is the middle of August, I guess, and it's threatening to rain. We've had thunder all morning, and I wanted to get out here and show you the lower garden before it starts raining. I shared with you the front yard earlier this month, and last week I shared the backyard with you, and now we're going to do the lower garden. In the summertime, I like to break these garden tours up because there's so much going on. Although the lower garden is a little bit smaller and there's not quite as much going on. This is a shade garden. There's almost no sun. There's a little bit of filtered sun in a couple of little pockets, but mostly it's in shade. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we're just going to take a little walk. We're going to start here and continue on. The first little pocket of color we have is I have this patch of primroses that are not in bloom right now, but I did pop in just a few pink impatiens to give it a little bit of summer color. But the primroses have started opening up. So I have one right here. I have a double pink right there. And I even have a dark purple with yellow eye back there. We do have lilies back there, but they're no longer in bloom. The rhododendrons are done blooming. The dogwood, this is a pink flowering dogwood that has not put on the colorful bracts yet, but it is growing in height quite a lot. This tree is a memorial tree for a dear friend of mine who passed from breast cancer, and they gave these pink flowering dogwood trees seedlings. Really, they were only like a few inches tall away at her memorial, so it's an extra special tree to have in the garden. We are not going to go into the medicine garden. That will be a separate tour. So we're just going to keep going down this pathway here. In this area, I have a bunch of horsetail, which I don't normally let it come out this way, but such is life. And then we have chocolate ajaga, all growing here as a ground cover. There is some bleeding hearts in here when they bloom. Those are out of season. The first thing we come to here is a hosta, and this hosta is kind of in a pathway, so we're always like avoiding it, but I'm going to be cutting back the rhododendron and we'll remove this hosta so we have a direct path that direction. Coming around the corner here, we do have some mondo grass kind of hiding in here. It's like a deep shade now because of the rhododendron. We have some snowberries. We have rhododendron crocosmia blooming. The orange crocosmia gives it a nice, really bright, sunny color in the shade. We have another snowberry here, and yeah. Oh, look at all this Galtherias in full berry. Oh my goodness. I need to come out here and harvest. Look at all those. Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. That might be the most prolific amount of Galtheria berries I have gotten in this garden, which is really exciting. We usually keep our Galtheria really tightly trimmed, so it doesn't really get a chance to berry like that, and this is kind of in a little wild pocket of the garden, so exciting. I have a friend who makes a delicious Galtheria dessert, and I'm seeing him tomorrow, so I'm going to ask him for the recipe, and I think we'll make ourselves a little Gualtheria berry dessert here soon. I might even show that on our YouTube channel, or just like kind of share how that goes, because it's always super fun to do a little wild harvesting. So let me know in the comments below if that's something that you would be interested in learning more about. It's not something that I'm like advanced in knowledge, but it is something that interests me. So fun. I'm excited. Like, wow, it looks like grapes. They're huge. I just love that I get to discover things in my own garden when I'm out here doing a tour for all of you. Okay, let's get turned around. We have a crabapple tree here. No crab apples on this tree. There is crab apples up on that tree, up on the top of the hill. This one just has really beautiful dark foliage. We've got some yellow twig dogwood, which it's all leafed out, but you can see their yellow stems. This rhododendron's super fun because of the variegated color. And then you can see some blackberries trying to take over. That's what they do. Underneath this little garden, before we pass it up, I do have my monk's hood nightshades coming up. I have lungwort doing better this year than in previous years. The Solomon seal is declining for the season. The Jacob's ladder is doing okay. It's put on some growth. And then, of course, we have this beautiful variegated dogwood. And I love that I'm finally starting to see the layers, because that's what dogwoods do. They like have this natural layering structure. And she's getting old enough now that I could start seeing that structure, which is really fun. Down this way, let's back up just a tad so we can look over here. We'll come back here to this hosta that I want to remove. And we'll go this way. We've got bear's breeches looking beautiful. We've got a little bit of a stilby blooming in, coming up through the hydrangea, which gives it a fun pop of purple and different texture. Of course, we have the beautiful hydrangea. It's this like sweet blue tint and creamy white flowers. They come out pretty creamy and then get a little bit blue. And then a heuchera, and we've got multiple different types of heuchera growing in here. We do have this oak leaf hydrangea. The plant is doing great. You could see how large she's gotten. She didn't put on any blooms, and there's no evidence that she's going to, and it's because there's just not enough sun down here for her. And this particular hydrangea gets really fantastic fall color, but we haven't seen the fantasticness of it because it's not getting enough sun. So this fall, this plant will likely get moved somewhere in the garden that has a lot more sun. We picked up this discount plant. It's struggling still a little bit, but it's starting to look a little bit better. You could see all the veining that was happening here, and the color has sort of corrected. Don't really know what. It's like obviously something was eating it. This is like a little bit newer growth. I need to come in and get rid of all the dead pieces. Whew, it's struggling a little bit, but I think with enough care and nutrition, we will get it under control. This is the Kodiak blue or Kodiak black Durvilia. And then this is a Proven Winners hydrangea. This is the mountain ash. Is that what it's called? I always forget what it's called. Let's see. I still have the tag in here. It is Tough Stuff Red Mountain hydrangea. And it's full of these lace cap hydrangea blooms, which is really fun and beautiful. More heuchera, a different color heuchera. We've got some Japanese forest grass there. The hostas are all kind of declining this time of year. That's kind of natural. A little bit of crocosmia blooming, not as much as other years. I think we're just getting more and more shade back here. We have another white astilbe, or another astilbe, but this one's white, blooming right here. This is a perennial fern that grows all over our garden. We have a 9-bark here that has gotten quite large. And then we have a Proven Winners 9-bark right here that has the darker foliage. This is the ginger wine 9-bark. It's smaller in stature and darker foliage. Okay, then of course we do have the gunnera, which is looking really fun and beautiful this time of year. We didn't get as big of a flower stalk on it this year as we did last year, but she's big and beautiful. Such a fun plant to have in the garden and such great texture. We also haven't lost quite as many birch twigs this year, so we don't have as many holes. These holes are actually from twigs, not from bugs. So there's that. And then we have my peanut butter tree, or the Mexican hydrangea, which is my favorite tree of all time. I love the color. I love the leaf shape. I love that the stems are dark. I love that when you rub the leaf like this and then smell your fingers, it smells exactly like a fresh jar of peanut butter just got opened. I love the white flowers that it gets. It smells like jasmine. I love the structure of the tree or shrub. It's just like my favorite. Underneath it, we planted it with a impatiens pillow, and it's looking so beautiful. It's exactly what I imagined, exactly what I had hoped for, and I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy we tried it. I'm glad that we tried it in the shade garden, because, you know, everything in a shade garden is usually like texture and variations of green. It's hard to find something that blooms in the shade garden that has this level of bright color. So I absolutely love, love, love having these impatiens in the garden this year. Our Fatsia is doing pretty good. We have a variegated Fatsia in here. She's beautiful. Just a really fun, bright spot in the garden. And we have a really pretty, I think this is like dragon's tongue or something, hosta. It's like a blue hosta, which is also really fun to have in the garden. And let's see, let's just keep rolling down this way. We have really young shrubs over here. This is an ocean spray and a rhododendron. We have a couple of little fuchsias, and over here we have a sun king and a couple of anemones and a mock orange or Mexican orange. And we do have some fuchsias along the back here. Everything really young in this garden. Just getting established. We did lose our fat Albert spruce could see that it's pretty dead. Like, I don't know. Certainly this side, which gets no sun at all, is all dead. So I might be able to move it somewhere and save it, possibly. I can try. I don't know. We have this pot of Himalayan honeysuckle, which gets these really beautiful bell-like flowers on it. And then we have another one across the way up there, and that one is far more mature, and it has these dark, fun flowers on it. I adore that shrub. And then we do have a David Austin rose right here, climbing rose. It's a Eden. And then we have another one here that's struggling a lot. So again, something that I can address soon, I hope. I planted this hillside up with a lot of wildflowers this year. We had some foxgloves, and we always have bluebells in here early spring. But then I also planted straw flowers this year, which right now, as you can see, is really the only color that's happening in this garden. So you can see there's some yellow and pinks, light pinks. And I'm just gonna let them go to seed and just kind of let this hillside be covered in different wildflowers underneath this twinberry. Look at those blooms, they're so fun. And then we have another bear's breeches capping off this garden. And we have a whole like mini ring of the prime lime proven winners hydrangeas, and this is their second year in the ground. They have quite a few blooms coming on, which is really exciting. As they get established, it's really fun to watch them grow and establish themselves. This direction mostly is just like greenery, but I will mention that this escallonia is going to get a huge prune job very soon, and I'll show you why in just a minute. It's a little sad because the structure underneath is so fun. Look at that. It's just wicked fun. But it's completely rotting. It's just completely rotting. I could just take down the tree like that. It's just, you see how sad that is. Yeah. So, time to do some massive changes in here. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of wild to see it go, but it's necessary. Recently, my brother was here. We showed you in a video, and we took out a tree that was right here coming up over this archway. So this feels so different to me because it's so much brighter and lighter and less like oppressive, because there's nothing weighing down this canopy anymore. It's just like open, which is something different. So there's the stump of the tree. And then we just walk up here to the backyard. That's the backyard over there. And here we have a hosta. We have some asters. And I think that might be kaffir, maybe. Yeah. That's where we're at. The golden rain tree is all done. It just has all its seeds now. But here is the other reason, besides the rot on the bottom of the escallonia. You can see what the top is looking like. It's just weighed down and splayed out. It just got far too large for its space. So there you have it. Time to make a big change in that area. Just a little sneak peek into the backyard. Look at those sunflowers. They're so tall. Really fun. So there you have it. That's the lower garden at the end of the summer. And you know, we didn't do a whole lot in that garden this summer, but come this fall or in the next, you know, month or so, we're going to take out that Escallonia. Which is sad because it blocks our view of our neighbors behind us from our living room. So that's going to be a really big change. It grows fast, and we may just leave the stumps and let the shrub get big again, but I have no idea how long it takes to get that big. We've been here for 7 years, and it was pretty much that size. We've cut it back maybe 3 to 4 feet a couple of times, just pushing down the canopy. But yeah, I don't know how. All right, my camera just shut off. It just like went cloudy and shut off, so I don't know where it ended. But yes, just suffice it to say that I don't know what's going to happen with that Escallonia, but it is going to get taken down because it's obviously struggling hardcore. But this is going to be the end of our lower garden tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you were inspired to try growing in your shade garden, and I hope that you are celebrating your life. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.